Hello, my name is Keshwani. There's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to learn how to read and write Hindi. We are also here because we want to learn to read and write Urdu. We are doing both at the same time. Today is our lesson number 30. Yesterday, on day number 29, we began a new concept, a concept known as Tashdeed. Tashdeed, right there, Tashdeed. We learned how to write this word yesterday. Tashdeed, te, sheen, tash. This is dal and choti e, di. Choti e gives us the badi ki matra, and then another dal, Tashdeed. Tashdeed looks exactly like a W. It looks like a W. When W, or rather when Tashdeed appears on top of a letter, that sound, that letter is to be pronounced twice. There are many words in Hindi as well as Urdu where the sound is repeated. When the sound is repeated, how is it tackled? How is it written in Hindi and how is it tackled in Urdu? Let's take a look at it, shall we? Yesterday we started this concept, as I said, and yesterday we have already done 10 words. Today we'll do 10 more. Here's the first one. Here's kaf, ka, and then here is the verb. Now let's stop for a second here. Let's stop just for a second. Just take a break. This letter is called wow. We already know this. We learned this word. Obviously, we have used it many times. It's important that you watch these videos in proper sequence, because I take it for granted that if you're watching day number 30, you already understand the concept that were covered in the previous 29 days, obviously. This is called wow. Wow, you already know, X as O ki matra. O ki matra. So if we stop right here, this reads ko. This reads ko, like this. Ko. If you want badi O ki matra, we put a zabar on top of the ka. And now it becomes ko. We learned this already. But here, in this particular word that we're about to write, wow, this letter wow, is not appearing as a matra. It is not appearing as a matra. It is not appearing as a matra. It is simply appearing as a letter V. V. Kav. And then this kav, this is not a ko. This is not a ko. It's kav. And then another word, and it joins with the alif to make it aki matra. And now it reads kavva. Kavva is in crow. Except it does not read kavva. Well, not in Hindi. In Hindi, the way I've written here, it reads kavva. We don't want kavva, we want kavva. So to tell the reader that the first time around you pronounce this letter in a way that it joins the letter preceding it. To tell the reader that notion, we don't write the entire v in Hindi. The first v is only half. We take out this line. We take out this line, all you're left with is this part here, and this part has to join this part. So it's going to look like this. Ka, and then half a v, and then a full v. It has to join actually. I didn't do a good job. There you go. They have to join. Kav, va. Voila. Let's see what we can do here. When the kaf joins the vav, it looks like this. We already know this. And again, had it been sitting here by itself, somebody might have thought, somebody might think that this is ko. But we know it's not ko, it is kav, to which we need a va. So this sound has to be repeated. We put a tashdeed on top of it and put an alif. Voila. That's how you write crow. I don't know why I had the need to write in English. I have no idea why. There we go. We have kavva. That's how we write kavva in Urdu. That's how it is written in Hindi. Let's do one more, shall we? Kavva. Let's do the next one. Next one is a little tricky. Well, actually, it's not tricky. It's not tricky. It's a letter that we have to talk about it for a second. Here's a meme. Mo. Mo. There we go. Mo. Then we have a K. Let's first write it in Hindi. This K. And let's pause for a second, shall we? Let's pause for a second. I'm going to erase all of this thing we don't need now. Let's pause for a second. And let's talk about the K, something that we have talked about many, many times. This is the letter K in Hindi. If it has a dot underneath it, and dot will only be put by somebody who understands the words from Persians and Arabic that I use in Hindi. If the person doesn't even understand the concept, they're not going to bother with this thing, because what they're trying to tell us is that this K with a dot is this K in Urdu, K. This is a K. Without the dot, the letter that appears this K, without the dot, this letter does not exist in Hindi. Oh, sorry. This letter does not exist in Urdu. So what do? How do we pronounce the sound of K in Urdu? There are two sounds of K. This is K also, but I'm talking about this sound. How do we pronounce this sound? Well, we do exactly what we do in English. We improvise. So if this is a K, in English you will write it a K and an H, which is exactly what we do in Urdu. We take our kaf and we combine it with the do chashmi hai. Right there. Do chashmi hai. We learned it before a long time ago, I don't know where, in which day, but obviously we did. Right here, do chashmi hai. We learned it on day number 4. There are many hairs in Urdu. As you can see, there is this hair. There is this hair right here. There is this hair right here. Right here is the third one, and this is the one we're talking about, do chashmi hai. When kaf and a he, just like you will combine K and H, when it joins, when a kaf and a H, it looks like this. And this is this guy. This guy is this guy. That's what we need here. And now we'll reach mak. Mak. And then ka again. And a no. So ka again. But the first K is only half a sound. It's only half a sound, so this line disappears. And it continues like this. This is our K. It's half a K, to which we join another K. And then a no. Voila. And now we'll reach Makhan. Makhan. Let's put them together in Urdu. So this is your Ma, to which we join the K. And then a na joins, and we tell the reader that this K is to be pronounced twice. So the Tashdeed does not appear on he. Tashdeed does not appear on he. Nobody would think that it will appear, because he, this particular he in this form, the he written in this form is not a letter by itself. It doesn't have the capacity to act as a letter by itself. It is simply an assistant to convert ka into a kha, cha into a cha, ba into a ba, and so forth. Think of this as English language having two special H's, one the regular H and another H that you use when you want to join with K, which of course English letter does not have that sophisticated concept. They just have a letter H. But if they did have an English alphabet two H's, one H is a regular H, as in Henry. Another H is used when you convert K into a K. That's what this is. This is a special H. It does nothing else, which means Tashdeed cannot possibly appear on top of it, because it's not a letter by itself. It's just an assistant. Does the Tashdeed appear on top of K? No, it does. It's not appearing on top of K either, because when you combine it together, it becomes one letter. It becomes a K. So you have to put it on top right here. Makhan. It reads Makhan. Makhan as in butter. You already know that. Let's do one more, shall we? Let's do one more. Lam, la, and then a so. But this is going to be half a letter, so we're not going to put a line, because we know we're going to write it again. And then another so. So now we write the full one here. I think that's how it will join. Yep. Lassan. 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 Lassan is in garlic, I believe it is. It's either garlic or ginger. No, ginger is adrak. Lasan is garlic. Lasan. Let's put them together, shall we? La, sa, and then a na, and it will take Tashdeed. Lasan. Except it needs one more loop. You see, these two loops that you see here, those are for the sa. And then in one needs one more loop to combine the na. Lasan. If you are Hindi reader, if you are Hindi speakers, and if you're here to learn Urdu, then what I have to say right now is going to make you feel much better, which is that if it's any consolation to you, I'm not just butchering the Hindi words with my atrocious handwriting. I assure you, my handwriting in Urdu is equally atrocious. Listen, let's do one more. La, and again sa, same thing here. Actually, you know what? We don't have to rewrite the whole thing. Here's your la, a sa, and a sa, and then a badi ki matra. So we don't need a na. This sa just takes a badi ki matra. And now it reads lassi. Now it reads lassi. You know what lassi is, obviously. Everybody knows what a lassi is. How can you possibly come from subcontinent and not know lassi? Here we go. La, two loops for the sa, another one to join it with the badi. Voila. That reads lassi. These letters put together, it looks like this. You need to put Tashdeed. We have to put the Tashdeed on top of the sa. Lassi. Let's do one more, shall we? The next word we're going to write is a bit tricky. Okay? Even though I don't need to, I'm going to write everything in English here because I find it interesting. Here's an example of a word which, when written in Hindi, does not have half a letter. This is the H. It does not have half a letter. And yet, when written in Urdu, it does call for Tashdeed. How is it possible? How is it possible that when it is written in Urdu, the Urdu spelling calls for Tashdeed, but the exact same word does not have half a letter written when it is written in Hindi? Well, it's repeated. It must have half a letter, because that's what Tashdeed does. Tashdeed tells us that this letter is repeated. But let's take a look at it, shall we? I left absolutely no room for myself. So one more time. Here's an example, the word that we're about to write. Here's an example of a word which, when written in when written in Hindi, does not have half a letter. And yet, when it's written in Urdu, the spelling does call for Tashdeed. Let's take a look at it. And it has to do with the fact that in Urdu we got a problem. There are 10 letters that exist in Hindi which do not exist in Urdu, and we covered for these 10 letters, we covered 5 days. I believe it was day number 21 through 25, if my memory serves me right, where we did nothing but use this hai right here, do chashmi hai, to teach us how to convert ba into a B. We don't have a B in Urdu, so that's how we do B. Just like you would do in English, you will try to B and H to make a B. If you want to write Bharat in English, this is how you will write it, because English language does not have a letter for B. That's exactly what we do in Urdu. So B and a do chashmi hai, when we write them together, it becomes a B. B. You have a letter in Hindi. I believe that's how it is. Maybe it's not like this. I know it goes to top. There you go. This is much better. B. You do have a letter in Hindi for B, but we don't. There are 10 such letters, and we did 2 of those, and we did them in pairs, 2 at a time, for 5 days. Day number 21 through 25. Let's look at this word. Instead of a B, here we have a Th. So instead of a B, we have a Th. And the Th is written like this. I believe that's a Th. Let's see what word we want to write. Let's see what word we want to write, and let's see why it requires Tashdeed when it's written in Urdu, but when the same word is written in Hindi, there is no half letter. P. Then we have a Th. Pat. So far it says Pat. Well, to write Th, we need a or rather, we don't have a Th here. First we have Pat. Th. First we have Pat. Right. So far we have Pat. Then we need a Th. That's a Th. And then a Re. And what it reads is, so we have Pat, these are together, Pat, then we have a Th, Pat, Thar. Pat, Thar is in stone, except when it's, the way we wrote it in Hindi, it reads Pa-ta, Thar. We don't need Pa-ta, Thar, we need Pat. Pat, Pa and a Tha have to join together, Tha becomes half a letter. It does not take a full form like this. Patthar. But as you can clearly see, because of the fact that Hindi language has a letter for the sound Tha, Tha is a unique letter, and Tha is a unique letter. So there is no repetition of letters. But here, letter is repeated, because this Tha joins with the Pa becomes a Pat. And then with the other te, this te, we need a te here to make it a pat. But then you need another te to convert the te into a the. Therefore, this te is repeated. Let's write them together. Pa. So far it reads pat. Then we put a do chashmi here to it and a re. And do chashmi goes on top of this thing. Now it tells the reader that this te is to be repeated. First it's going to join with the pa, then it's going to join with the chashmi here, hence converting the ta into a tha. Patthar. Patthar. Let's do one more, shall we? Where was I? Let's do the next one. Patthar. Here's the next word. We have E. As you can see, it doesn't have that loop. So it's not a badi E, it's just choti E, which means it's simply alif with a zer underneath it. E. If it had this loop, it would have been alif with choti E. That would have been badi E ki matra. This is E like this. We don't need that, we need a choti E ki matra, which is a zer. Then we have a z. Z in Hindi looks like this. Hindi does not have a z. This sound does not have it. So we improvise it by writing a j. This is a j, but we don't want a j. This is a j, jeem. We don't want a jeem, we don't want a j. We want a z, z sound, z. As in New Zealand, z. So we put a dot underneath it to remind ourselves that this is not a j, this is a z. Because Hindi doesn't have letter for z. So they improvise by putting a dot underneath it. So far we have is, and then another z, and then a to. And now it reads is zat, izzat, as in honor, respect, izzat, izzat. The way it is written on the blackboard, the Urdu spelling as well as the Hindi spelling, they are both wrong. We have to go back and fix them. Let's fix the Hindi first. As you can see, the letter is repeated, which is why it's going to call for Tashdeed. But if the letter is repeated, the first letter has to be half a letter. The way it is written, it reads is-z-z-d, is-z-zat. It reads is-zat. We don't want is-zat, we want is-zat. The first z has to be half a letter. We have to take out this line and bring it together. And then another one, and then a toe. Oh yeah, I have to bring this line lower. I'm fairly certain that when Indians are writing Hindi, I'm fairly certain that they do not go through this much trauma that I'm going through. Is it? As I said, I'm fairly certain, not quite certain. So we fix the spelling in Hindi. Now let's fix the spelling in Urdu. Izzat is not spelled with an alif. Izzat is not spelled with an alif. As we know, we have two A's in Urdu. Two A's. One is the alif. Let's take it at a time. This is the alif, which is the exact equivalent of A. And then we have other letter which makes a sound. A and A. It is more glottal. Ain, which we learned is right here on day number 6. This sound does not exist in Hindi. The best we can do is approximate it by using the A, hence the approximation sign. So this is the exact sound. Alif is the exactly equivalent of A, and then Ain is approximately A. Hindi doesn't have a separate unique letter. So as far as the Hindi spelling was correct, as far as the Hindi spelling was concerned, it was correct. Secondly, I just realized that you don't even write the letter A when written in Hindi. It takes a different form. It takes this shape. This word is not to be pronounced. This letter is not to be spelled with alif. Izzat is to be spelled with ain. We need to replace the alif with ain. Now it's correct. Let's join them together. Ain, as we know, when it appears in joint form, it takes this shape. This is A. We want an E. Then we put a Z next to it. That Z has to be repeated, so we put Tashdeed on it. Is Zat. Voila. Now we wrote Izzat. Izzat. Let's do one more, shall we? Here's H. This is a Hey right here. Not the Dochishmi here. This one. Not that one. This one. H. But when you're writing Hindi, we don't have to deal with any of that nonsense because you only have one H. That's it. That's your H. We have to deal with 4 of them in Urdu. So far, we have H. We don't want a H, we want a He. Excuse me. We want a He. Choti E ki matra. He. And then a Meem. Him. And then another Ma and a Ta. Voila. Himmat. As you can see, there's a meme here, there's a meme here. We're not going to write the meme twice. We're going to write the meme only once. You can write it only once, put a Tashdeed on top of it, and bring this he closer and join it with it. Voila. Let's do it one more time. Freehand. Himmat. That says himmat. Himmat as in courage. Himmat. Let's do one more, shall we? Here is be, to which we're going to join do chashmi hai, hence converting be, hence converting ba into a ba, just like you would do in English. Convert the ba into a ba. We don't want a ba, we want a ba. This particular word that we're about to write calls for ba. Ba, which is ba, and then a ya. This is a ye. Now when it's written up, this letter is just a ye. Listen very carefully. Here, ye, as you know, choti ye and badi ye, choti ye and badi ye, they serve as matras in Urdu. Choti ye serves as badi e ki matra, and badi ye serves at choti e ki matra. It serves as both choti e ki matra and badi e ki matra by putting additional symbol on top of it. Same thing with this guy. The choti ye serves simply as badi e ki matra. So choti ye and badi ye, they both serve as matras, choti e or badi e or choti e. But here, when it's written like this, it is simply being used as a letter, nothing else. It's not a matra. So it reads bai, 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 and then it's repeated. Baiya. And then we join with a. Baiya. So one more time. So there is your ba. Let's not write it like that. Let's write it as a ba. There you go. And now, baiya, baiya. Voila. Baiya. Baiya is in brother. Let's do one more, shall we? There is our kaf, ka, except we don't want a ka, we want a ku, we want a choti uki matra. So we put this symbol on top of it, which is called pesh. We put a pesh on top of it. It's called pesh. Pesh, which converts ka into a ku. And the symbol is exactly the same as it is in Urdu, except in Urdu it goes on top of the letter, in Hindi it goes at the bottom. So far we have ku. We don't want ku, we want kut. Kut. And then another ta, and it's going to join with alif, making it a ta. Voila. And now it reads kutta, 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 kut. Hence the ha is half, because that ha joins the ku. Kut. It's not ku ta, kutta. Let's put them together, shall we? Let's put them together in Urdu. So it's actually very simple. Ku, ta, and then another ta. There you go. That's it. We're done. Kutta. Kutta is in a dog. Kutta. Let's do one more, shall we? Alif and a be. The very first two letters of the Urdu alphabet, alif be. It goes alif be pe te se jim che ke, so forth, so forth. Alif be are the first two letters of the Urdu alphabet, as I said, just like in English you have a b. This is a b. Ab. Ab. But of course I shouldn't have written the ba like this, because we all know that this ba is going to be half, because we have another ba. So it's going to be half a ba. The first ba is not a ba. It's not a ba, it is ab, because if it's ab, it's only half a ba. The next ba is going to be the full ba. So far it reads ab ba. We don't need ab ba. The last ba here requires a matra. It requires u ki matra. U ki matra, it requires bade u ki matra. So let's refresh our memory here for a second. Let's stop for a second. When you have a ba and you put a pesh on it, that's choti u ki matra. It will look like this. Oh, sorry. That's boo. That's it. We're done. That's boo. It looks like this. That's boo. Choti u ki matra. If you want a badi u ki matra, for badi u ki matra we need a vowel. For badi u ki matra, the be has to join with vowel with ulta pesh. Now it's boo. Be, wow, and ulta pesh. Boo. And that is this. Boo. That's what we need here. We need a vowel and ulta pesh. And now it reads abbu. Abbu. So the second guy is going to take this. There you go. Abbu. I hope I did it correctly. Yep, that is right. Abbu. We just have to join them in Urdu. Let's join them in Urdu. Very simple. This alif stays by itself. The be is going to join the wow, just like it did here. And then because we're repeating the be, we need Tashdeed on top of it, and we need the ulta pesh to convert the ba into a badi u ki matra. Badi u ki matra. Okay, let's pay attention here. Pay attention here. I want you to understand this concept that you see here versus this concept. This is simply a be and a vowel. This is a bo. This is o ki matra. This is o ki matra. This is badi u ki matra. You see the difference? The only difference is that this guy has an ulta pesh on top of vowel. On top of vowel. Now, if you were to put, in addition to this thing, if you were to put a zabar on top of the be, then it will become badi u ki matra. Abbu. I think I'm going to stop right here. It's getting to be too long. Let's just stop here. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.